And we are in motion. We do this thing, taking off fast lane, no coasting. Tuesday, yeah. Yo, 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 yo. I think it's gonna be all right because we're gonna get real busy tonight. I think it's gonna be okay because we're gonna get busy today. Everything is gonna work out fine because the sun always be shining. Everything is gonna work out good because it's gonna get these understood. Everything is gonna be all right because I said that shit tonight. Everything is gonna work out. It's gonna be everything is gonna. Everything is what the. Everything is what. Everything is gonna be like this, cause everything is gonna be like. Everything is gonna work out like. Are we here? Are we good? Are we good? If y'all can hear me out there, see me out there, I know you can because I'm on the monitor. All right. Urban Therapy with Sun 752. Well, this your daily. It's the daily go-get-amism show. You think it ain't when it is? You think it won't when it whiz? We are here and we are in motion. We do this thing, taking all fast lane, no coasting, and everything is gonna be all right. We talking about getting to know each other first. Getting to know each other first. You know, throughout the years, I've heard a lot about, how you get to know somebody, how somebody gets to know you, how people get to know each other. And what I've heard over the years is that there's a lot of different criteria that people use to determine whether they know somebody or the techniques that they employ in order to try to get to know somebody. Evidently, getting to know somebody is not as easy as people think that it is. Can y'all hear me? If y'all there, show some signs of life. You know what I mean? Y'all got a few likes up there. There's a few people in here, but I'm not sure. These days I can't take anything for granted because, So just write something in the chat if you're in the chat. You can write hi, you can write nothing, you can just write a dash. Just let me know that the thing is working because it's looking strange right now. All right, we good? All right, y'all there, all right. Because I was like, wait a minute. Okay, we good, everything good, levels is good. Levels is good. So like I was saying, and what up, T. Carey, right, morning, noon, and night. It's always great to have my peoples going directly into your site. And Marvina Bigby, what's good? And also my man, Davey Figueroa. What's going on, my brother? Good to see you always and all the time. So yeah, man, there's a lot of different ways for people to get to know each other. But when it comes to dating or getting into a relationship or getting into a romantic situation, I think that's the time when getting to know each other often takes center stage. People sometimes have to know a lot of things about each other before they can start to give the other person access because they may not be comfortable yet. And I don't see anything wrong with that. I don't see nothing wrong with that at all. But the things that people do in order to get to know somebody, or like a man might get with a woman and she might tell him, well, listen, before we get into anything physical or whatever, I want us to get to know each other first. So she may have like an itinerary that she follows in order to start the dating process. So maybe she will require him to take her out, so they can see how each other interact in a public setting. And that's a safe way to go. So I don't see anything wrong with that. And that's a good way to see how somebody chooses where they go out. You can get to know what kind of places they like to go to, where their comfort zone might be. You can also find out certain things like, is this person the type of person that spends a lot of money when they go out, or are they very conservative? Do they try to impress, or there are a lot of different things that might go on in a person's head when they are trying to get to know each other first. Like I wonder if I take you home, will you still be in love, baby? Because I need you tonight. Well, back in 1985, when that song came out, that was a valid question. Now, as we get older, we're finding different ways to get to know one another. Or maybe the stakes are different because maybe back in the 80s, we didn't have any children. We didn't have the same responsibilities as we do now. We weren't all the way into our career. Now, that depends. That depends because I was a teenager in the 80s. So I was just, getting started. There were plenty of adults that looked at things in a much different light. So I can't speak for them. So all I can really say is what was going on at that time in my mind and in my world. But getting to know each other has always been a thing, with certain people. I'm not even going to say that it's just women, because there are plenty of men who really only get comfortable with a woman when they really know everything about her. You know what I mean? And there are so many different ways to feel safe with somebody. And honesty is one of those ways that make people feel safe. Integrity is one of those ways that make people feel safe. Respect is one of those ways that make people feel safe. When you start adding in all of these kind of things, then you might really feel like you're really getting to know somebody. But the thing is, that might be my perspective of what it takes in order to get to know somebody. Somebody else might be saying, well, you know how people say, well, you can know somebody for years and years and not really know everything about them, or not really know them the way they really need to be known. That's what people say. I've heard them say it. I don't say it. I don't believe it, but people say it. So this is what I'm about to say. I'm going to get these drums out of the way, and we're going to have this conversation today. I'm going to get these drums up out of the way and leave the lines open so y'all can have something to say. What's good, y'all? What's good? It's the Daily Go Getimism Show. I'm your host, Sun752. About to put my shirt on. I'm standing in front of y'all shirtless. About to go ahead and put my clothes on. No shirt, no shoes. What up, Dimples D's? What's good? What's going on, ma? Good to see me some you, always. As always, put my gear on. Make sure I ain't got no stains in my shirt. Yeah. But yeah, there are a lot of different ways for different people to feel like they know one another, or that they know somebody. So what I want to do tonight is I want to find out what y'all criteria is for getting to know somebody. When you say that you want to get to know somebody, or you need to get to know somebody, or before we can proceed, we need to get to know somebody first. I want to know what what your itinerary is, what your schedule is, what your techniques are. Some people employ manipulative techniques in order to get to know somebody. In other words, just throw some shit out there, or do something, or make something appear like it's one thing when it's really another thing, just to see how a person reacts. Because some people don't believe that you get to know a person by listening to what they say. Some people believe that you only get to know a person by watching the things that they do. Don't listen to nothing that nobody say. Watch what they do. How many of us have heard somebody say that? How many of us have been taught that by our elders? I know plenty of old heads taught me that, but I think that sometimes it's true and sometimes it's not as reliable as we would like it to be. Marvina says people will show you who they are. Yes, they will. But will you be paying attention when they show you? Will you be paying attention when they show you? When this feeling comes over me, will you be there to receive and let this love breathe? Well, that's what we talking about tonight, y'all. So let's get it popping. Hit the like button, share the show, subscribe to the channel. If you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, this is the Daily Go Getimism Show. I'm your host, Sun752, aka Omar with the and if you can't say Omar with the well, then you just say Omar with the R. We are talking about getting to know each other first. Getting to know each other first. What does that mean? What does it mean to you? Have you ever told somebody that before we can proceed any further, before we can make any type of transaction, I need to get to know you first, or we need to get to know each other first? And this isn't just a dating thing. This is not just for dating. There might be plenty of situations where you want to get to know somebody before you will allow them to come into your space. One of those situations is this. What about people coming into your house to do work? Construction, roofing, plumbing, carpentry, whatever. You know, one thing about your home, if you like your home, you love your home, you value your space, you don't want to just let anybody have access to your crib. You don't want everybody being able to come into your crib and look around and see what you have and you know, kind of, because people calculate how much money you make by how you live in your home, the location of your crib, the size of your crib, the things that you have in your crib. So letting somebody into your house is not a small thing. You know, there are some people who treat their houses like an open house. And I always think that's interesting. Like, so you just let anybody in your crib. Now, from what I know, there are two types of people. There are people who interact with their neighbors like they know everybody on the block. They know everybody around the way. They ask questions. They go visit. They invite people to come visit them. They know the 411 on everybody. You have those types of people. And then you have the type of people who don't give a shit about nobody on the block. They got mad trust issues. Ain't nobody coming in here that live around here. You know, the type of the type of people who move their shit at night. You know, it's illegal. I know in the state of Pennsylvania, it's illegal to move into a place at night, but many people violate that law, especially in Philly. So, you know, if you have a bunch of expensive shit that you know that thieves will target, you know, because people watch you when you move into a new house, new apartment, whatever. They look at the furniture that's coming in there like, oh. Got the fresh velour or the leather. Oh, nice. Got the Raymond Flanagan coming up here, the big truck. Okay. Or, you know, high-end electronics. Oh, remember back in the day, stereo equipment. That was the big thing. Like, oh, look at the size of them speakers. Oh, they moving in. Oh, they got the Big Bang Theory going on up in the crib. Shit like that. So some people would move in at night. So nobody knew what the stuff that they had. Plus, at night, you can cover your stuff. You can cover your stuff in the daytime, but people will figure it out. At nighttime, when you move into the crib, you know what I mean? Don't nobody really know what you got under covers, under blankets, under drop cloths, all that kind of stuff. You know what I mean? So, you know, if you have expensive appliances, people will clock the shit that you bringing into the crib. Like, oh, they got the front loading The front loading dryer, or the no, most dryers are front loading. Front loading washer. They got the front loading washer. Oh, they got the washing machine that's like the kind they got in the laundromat. Oh, they got a couple of dollars. They got a couple of dollars. What up, Selena? What's good? What's good? Selena said, you hide in trash big ticket boxes. You hide in trash big ticket boxes. Hey, you do what you got to do. You do what you got to do. But I know y'all know what I'm talking about. You know what I'm talking about. You know what I'm saying? Like, shout out to all my people that move their shit in at night. You know what I mean? Shout out to all of my people that move. I move my... Wait a minute. I move my furniture at night so they can't see the shit that I got that they steal. I got them thugs with me. They are here for security. All right, let's go, man. Let's go. All right. So y'all get the gist of what I'm talking about. You understand? You understand what I'm trying to say? You know, it's a bit, listen, getting to know somebody. Like I said, you may vet people before you let them come in your crib. You know what I mean? It's not just a relationship thing. We can get into that, but hey, people working on your house, especially if you can't be there keeping an eye on them 24/7. So you might only want to deal with contractors and things like that you know. That way there can be some personal accountability. Should they have you? Because listen, you know how contractors always have workers that steal or that drink on the job or do some shit. Shout out to all of y'all surveillance monsters out there. Shout out to all of y'all surveillance monsters. Cameras all over the crib. Cameras all over the crib. Yo, you be at work checking on your house. Oh, yeah. Oh, my wife just got up. Oh, the kids just went in the kitchen. Oh, the dog pooped on the floor. Mm-hmm. Wait till I get home. Surveillance monsters. Can't be away from the crib without worrying about what's going on in the crib. We are in that age now. We are in that age now. The age of surveillance. But nonetheless, yeah, when it comes to people being able to have access to your home, you may want to get to know them. And just because you get to know somebody doesn't necessarily mean that you'll trust them. But at least you know them well enough to know whether you can trust them or not. And you may feel like I can't. No, there's no trust over here. You be wildin'. You be welding. Marvina says, back in the 80s, a lady moved in the projects. Her ex-husband was an ex-NFL player, and the neighbors saw all that fancy stuff being moved in. It was crazy. He played in the NFL, and he had to move in the projects. Oh, her ex-husband. So damn, she went from, and this was back in the 80s. He could have been making good. Damn. That's kind of a sad story. Damn. Marvina said they would not rob. She was a hometown girl. Nobody bothered her. That's what's up. I'm glad to hear that. I don't know. I hate to hear about people getting robbed. I hate to hear about people getting robbed. I've been robbed many times in my life. My home has been, when going all the way back to living at my mom's crib, our crib was always getting broke into, always getting robbed. We always had to re-up, Always had to get another stereo. Always had to get another TV. Always. You would think we was passing out keys in the hood. And I'm real trap. You would think that we was passing out keys in the hood. Man, it was crazy. Then I moved to my apartment. I got robbed a couple of times there. That's what I learned. I will never live near any tenants of mine ever again. My dad was about that life. He kept his tenants close. I'm like, keep them mother. I don't know. I don't want them to know where I live at all. Y'all come to the office. That's it. You don't have the right to know where I live. It never works out well. But anyway, you know, yeah, before you let people in your crib, you may want to get to know them first. I know ladies, just for safety's sake, you know, when you dating out there, you know what I mean? You may be interested in a man or several men or whatever. You know, you do what you do. But you may not be comfortable letting each one of those men know where you live. I mean, it's a straight up safety concern. And it's a valid safety concern. People know where you live. You know, crackheads told me back in the day, my old head crackheads, may they rest in peace. They always told me locks are for honest people, oh. They say you can't lock out no thief. Thief laugh at locks. That's tools of the trade. He know how to get around locks. He'll make his way in your crib and don't have to break no lock. So you come in your crib, you think everything is secure because the lock that you had on it is still there. He didn't go in that way. Motherfucker came down the chimney like Santa Claus. He came down the chimney like Santa Claus. Yeah, but they told me locks are for honest people. You can't lock out a thief. You can't stop a real burglar from doing his thing. All those locks and all of that, those are just tools of the trade. It's a formality. It's like a decoration. But anyway, getting to know somebody first. If y'all would be so kind in the chat, could you tell me the last time that you required to get to know somebody first before you proceeded and whatever? So it could be date, it could be sex, it could be friendship. Some people won't consider you to be a friend until they know certain things about you. Like, for example, let's say, you know how all those people all those black people move down Atlanta or move down south somewhere? You know what I mean? I would imagine that moving from up north on the East Coast to down south probably was like culture shock.
You have a call.
I'm sure there was an adjustment period, things like that. Caller with the last number is 5639. Welcome to the Daily Go Get-Emism Show. What's on your mind tonight? What's good?
What's up? Hey, everybody.
Hey. So you good? You all right?
Yeah.
Good. So you know what we're talking about tonight?
I do. I've been listening.
All right. So what do you think? Like, what is what is for you? What are the purposes of you getting to know somebody first? Like, are you the type that is able to deal with people without really knowing them well, or do you require, getting comfortable with them first, knowing who they are, where they come from, what they do, who they know, who knows them, or whatever?
So I am a talk to strangers kind of person, but I'm not a people person. In a while, we can talk and be cool, but when it comes to coming on my property and in my space, I'm a whole different demon. Like, I do have to get to know you to come and do stuff, even to work in my house and to hang out and anything further.
Mm-hmm.
And I think some of it comes from because everybody I know is people I've known forever. Like I told you, I dated in the same pool forever. So there weren't many strangers involved. And the people who do work around my house, they're part of a community that my family belongs to. So everybody knows everybody. The same person who cuts my grass, cuts my dad's grass, cuts my siblings' grass. So we're a community. And even in my neighborhood, I am a neighbor who gets along with the neighbors in my section. And that's because I've known these people or their family members for 54 years.
Okay.
So to welcome a stranger in, it requires some getting to know. However, when it comes to dating, I'm at a place now where I want that part of that. I want that aspect now because I don't want to continue in the same circle for the second act. I want to get to know someone and do all that beginning part. But as far as friends and stuff like that, I'm good. Like, we can get to know each other if you want to be my friend and join my friend group, but you can't just come in and be invited. Like, if I talk to you, like I said, out in the wild, we're good, but just to invite you into my house, no. Even right now, for me to have a locksmith, I'm going by who my family knows.
Okay.
Who my people know, not a stranger.
Mm-hmm. I mean, it's understandable. Totally. You know what I mean? I don't know how people can play around with the security of their cribs. Like, this is a sitcom. You know, like how on sitcoms, everything is an open door policy. Nobody ever has to use keys or lock. You know what I'm saying? Like, they just
don't understand that this is 2020 anything.
Listen.
This is not 19 anything.
Look, it wasn't cool like that in 19 nothing. In my world.
I don't know. In the 70s, we didn't have to lock our doors. That's the honest truth.
I ain't never lived.
We didn't have to lock doors.
I have never lived in a state of not having to lock no doors. I don't come from that. That's all doors. That's house doors, car doors, bedroom doors, everything. Security is a must.
We didn't lock our house. We didn't lock cars. We didn't have to lock anything. We left our toys out, left our bikes out. We didn't have to do those things. And then one day we did.
Shit, I remember a dude that lived on my block stole my bike off my damn porch. Who does that?
Mm-hmm.
He lived down the street on the same block. Like, where was you going to go?
Don't do that.
The boy wasn't right. He wasn't right. His whole family suffered from mental illness. He wasn't right. But he did. He stole my damn bike. I was like, huh? What was his name? That boy was...
We had one who moved in like that, Alfred. His name was Alfred. He's the reason why we had to start locking our doors and putting stuff away.
Hey, like I said, we had to like everything. I mean, we had to lock everything. Everything. You leave it undone or unlocked, motherfuckers will try it. They will try it. You know, when I came home today, like I own multiple vehicles. I came home and I walked past my car and I'm looking for the little light to be beeping. You know what I mean? You know, the little alarm, the alarm indicator. I was like, why this shit ain't beeping? Like, is the battery dead? I said, so I tried the door. You know that bitch was unlocked? I was like, how long?
Violation.
I was like, how long? Because I definitely remember locking it. Or did I? I could have sworn. And unless I pressed unlock instead of lock, I can't see that happening. But anyway, Yeah.
Listen, I came home one day and my door was unlocked.
Oh no.
And when I tell you I went into full panic mode, I am not like the people in the movies. I didn't come in, hello, hello. I kindly stepped backwards, called the police as I was going back down the stairs, and then just start screaming like a maniac.
Mm.
And I made the police come because I have 3 floors. So the police had to come and look everywhere. And I made them come in and look every corner, every inch, every aspect, everything. Like, you sure you locked the door? Yes, I'm sure, but maybe I didn't. I don't know. But I was sure I locked it. I just know when I came, that sucker was unlocked. And I did not sleep in my house for about a week because of that.
Oh man, I don't know.
So that's a violation, and I don't. That's why I'm. You know, when my goddaughter came and stayed with me, oh God, I remember. Oh, she just put me in so much stress twice. More times than that, but these 2 times were it for me. One, I get up in the morning. It's like 7 in the morning, 8 in the morning, whatever time it was, and it's just she and I here. So of course we don't have to get dressed up with the t-shirt and panties. Is all it is. I'm going into my living room where I pay the bills in my house, and this Chelsea got some random ass dude sitting between her legs and she's braiding his hair. And I thought I was going to turn into the exorcist because, for one, why the fuck is this man in my house and I don't know shit about it? 2, you don't even know him. You just met him yesterday. Why the hell are you bringing a stranger to my damn house? Your mother's home was robbed twice because of you bringing strangers to her home. Once before she moved away, and then within a month of her moving into a new place because everybody is your damn friend. She didn't learn from that. The next time, I remember the ex came and caught somebody in here, and he comes to tell me, so now I'm up dressed because we see lights and stuff outside, and we know police are present. We don't know what's going on. So we go, and there's somebody in my house. And this person
Good word.
had the nerve to be a smart ass in my house when I'm telling you got to get out nicely. So the crazy in me decided, let me lock my door since you want to be in here, because I'm going to make it bad for you in my house. So let me lock my door and turn my back and keep talking shit while you talking shit, because I want you to jump, because this is not going to be nice for you. It's not going to be a friendly situation, especially when the ex is like, I was waiting for them to move because I was going to be on their back.
Okay.
And then I had to tell my goddaughter, now you got to lose my house. I don't care that it's 3 o'clock in the morning. I love you, but you got to get the fuck out of here because you keep bringing strangers to my house. And you would think she would have learned when she brought a stranger to her grandmother's home, and it's 4 o'clock in the morning, and it's dark, and her grandmother is on her way to the bathroom in a dark hallway, and all of a sudden she runs into some random ass dude coming out of her bathroom, and then she goes and gets her shotgun. You would think she would have learned, but she didn't learn anything.
Nah, I mean, some people are true to the game on that. I don't know. I just think it's weird that some people just don't take certain security measures into consideration. The reason that I don't mess around with young girls, well, there's more than one reason. First of all, that's just never been my thing. But in, I think it was 2007, I was messing around with this chick. Now, in 2007, I was 37. So she had to be like only about 20. I think she was 24. Something like that. 24, something like that. And I was like, this ain't a good look. But she was like awfully firm and she was kind of hot. But anyway, so I was doing comedy heavily at the time. So I was going, she was at my crib. And I was going to go, I had to go do this show real quick. I had a little gig downtown somewhere, whatever. So I was like, look, you want to come with me? And she was like, nah, I don't really want to go. What good can come out of this? Hey. Right now, Talia. She said till 3.
Hey, Karen. Hey, family. Hey, everybody.
Yeah, I couldn't get her to stay no longer than that. All right. So yeah. So I was like, all right, but just, all right, you chill here and I'll be back in a couple of hours. So I went, did the show real quick, came back. When I came back, she got another chick in here. They smoking weed. I was like, what the fuck?
Oh, no.
Yo, they on the couch chilling. I was like, I came in, I was like, huh? I said, yo, let me talk to you for a minute. Pulled it to the side. I said, yo, don't be bringing nobody in my crib. I like, where she come from? Oh, that's just my friend, blah, blah. I said, yo, she gotta go. She gotta go. I got shit in here. You know what I'm saying? Like, what are you crazy?
Because I barely know you.
And that was when I had to take a look at the situation like, yo, I don't know you like that.
Mm-hmm.
But we was already, we was in a physical relationship, but I realized I ain't really know you. You know what I'm saying? So, and I'm thinking that she thinks she know me enough to call somebody else and, gave them my address. They came over here, lighting up L's. I'm like, oh, you think that's what I'm into? Nah, ma. So she was like, it was crazy. She said, all right, well, I'm going to walk her to the bus stop and I'll be right back. They both left. I never saw her again.
And she was supposed to, and you were.
Huh?
I said she wasn't supposed to come back and you weren't supposed to see her ever again.
That's cool.
She got the message.
But when she didn't come back from the bus stop, now I got to search my whole crib.
Oh, yes.
Because I'm like, yo, she ain't come back. I was like, what? Did she not come back because she couldn't come back? I found out later on, years later, she left because she was embarrassed. She felt like I embarrassed her and all of that. And I was like, this is why I don't mess with young girls. And this is why dudes who mess with young girls, they got to go through this dumb shit. Because they don't understand shit. And they just be all, a pussy blind and all of that shit. So anything goes. I'm like, nah, we ain't doing none of that. That shit was crazy. My man Jason was good in Tory 2200. So that officially ended my young girl experience. I mean, she was a grown woman, but not grown enough, not nearly. So these dudes who be in their 40s and 50s and they be messing with these 20, so I'll be like, how? What y'all talk about? Talking about some age ain't nothing but a number. Age is an experience. Age is an experience, dickhead. And evidently you must not have experienced anything if you talk about age ain't nothing but a number, because you just saying that shit to justify the fact that you want some some adult pedophilia shit.
My question is always, when somebody young tries to approach me, I'm like, what do we have in common besides speaking pussy for real? What do we have in common? Because we don't have nothing else in common.
Y'all shouldn't.
What are we going to talk about?
Y'all shouldn't have anything in common, but evidently they find things to talk about.
No, it don't be enough. That's the thing, it's not enough.
It's not enough for you. It's not. That's what I'm saying. It's not enough for you. I'm talking about people who who welcome that type of situation on a regular basis.
Enough. You can tell they don't find enough to talk about because it doesn't last. And majority, I'm not saying there are some that don't slip through the cracks because, whatever, universe decided these two should be together. But for the most part, overall, they don't last because they run out of the fake stuff to talk about. Like when you're talking about getting to know someone, that's why you can't, for me, all that bullshit in the beginning, we not here to talk about nothing stuff. I want to talk about some real, really get to know you kind of stuff. And I want you to do the same with me. Let's ask all the questions and put all the stuff on the table. And then wipe it off as we go along. If we see the stuff that don't work, then we know let's not go any further. Let's not waste time.
No, well, I mean, you're right in everything you're saying, but what we have here is a difference in the criteria that some people use in order to feel like they know somebody versus how you might feel. How you might feel about what you need in order to feel like you know somebody. So I get it. I totally get it. But it's an interesting thing because, like when I put up the poll question, and I'm thinking I'm trying to find things or ways that people really feel like they know other people and to try to find where their comfort zone might be. Because it's hard to move through life without trust. But many people do it. But then again, I can only say that because I don't know what makes one person trust somebody versus what somebody else might use to establish trust versus what I might use in order to establish trust. So I think that there's a difference between somebody feeling like they know somebody because they know everything that they've done in the past. And some people only feel like they need to know the person who that they have become today. Some people are comfortable with that. I would never be comfortable with that. I gotta know, you know what I mean? I mean, in this day and age, especially when it comes to dating and shit like that, you got men that used to be women that used to be men, and you just don't know. You know what I mean? It's a lot of shit going on. It's too much. It's too many surprises. It's too many Jack in the Boxes out here. So, I have to take into consideration what I think makes me know a person and how much about a person I need to know before I can move forward with them. And that's whether
people can surprise you because you can know them a long time and not know them at all.
Well, people say that all the time, and I say if you've known a person for a long time and don't know them at all, then you haven't been looking any of the time. Because I know people who I've known a long time. Now it depends on how I know them. Like if we were never close or around each other, I could have known you 20 years. And of course I don't know you because we weren't active. You know what I'm saying? But if I've been around you for 5, 10, 20 years, yeah, I know you. I might be comfortable with some things that you do. I might be uncomfortable with other things. But there ain't gonna be a whole lot of pop-ups. You know what I mean? Like, I know what you like and what you don't like. You know what I mean? I know what the possibilities or probabilities of your actions are. Like, I ain't talking about some serial killer shit where motherfuckers be like, yo, he was such a nice guy. I never would have. Well, you didn't know that guy. But I bet you, the people who knew him are like, yeah, he's okay, but he's a basket case. I wouldn't be surprised if he got more bodies than the Green River Killer. You know what I'm saying? You just don't know. So, but yeah, All of that, you can know a person for years and not really know them. I don't know what the fuck you've been paying attention to. Especially like these chicks out here who wind up with husbands that's on the down low. Talking about something. I never knew he was on the down low. I'm like, how?
Shoot.
How you ain't know?
Well, let me tell you something. My friend I think everybody's on the down low. He's like, the first little something to you, you are immediately calling somebody gay or down low. And that's not true. However, I get what he's saying, because there are just some things in my world, in my bubble, in my opinion, that are not masculine. For example, when I went to Cali and hung out with a specific person, and we were watching the Patti LaBelle concert, and this nigga said, "Sing, bitch, sing." And I said, "Oh, okay. All righty. Well, I know what we're getting ready to do or not ever going to do, because there's something about you that likes what I like, apparently, and you just a person." Because I don't know men who do that. That's not masculine to me. And I know it sounds probably narrow-minded, but that's just, I grew up around men who were masculine and women who were feminine. And there are just specific things that I hear that I don't think masculine men say or do. And that's one of them. So when these women say they didn't see it, I'm like, you had to see something that made you curious. You had to see something that made you question.
First of all, if a woman don't know her man is gay, that's unexplainable, because just his behavior in the bedroom should put you on. Because ain't no way he could be comfortable in the throes of passion with another man and never display any of those types of tendencies in the bedroom with you. Ain't no fucking way. You know what I mean? So, if the motherfucker chooses anal all the time, you might be okay with that because maybe you like anal. But that don't excuse him. You know what I'm saying? Like, so all y'all do is anal? And I have known women who told me that, my last man, that's all we ever did.
Nope.
I'm like, oh. And these weren't even women who had men that were found to be on the down low. And I hate that term, down low. Like,
that's where I'm going with it. That's what you are to me. So
I'm saying, so either he was trying to backdoor you all the time, or he was asking you to plug him. And I guess
nope.
Well, I'm saying they must have.
I'm out.
Well, they must have looked at that. She must have looked at that like, whatever happens between a man and a woman can't be gay. There are some people who live by that mantra. As long as it's between a man and a woman, it can't be gay. I'm like, oh, really? One or both of y'all can be gay though.
Yeah, I'm like, it started somewhere, but so each is I can't control what people do behind closed doors in their bedroom, in their house, but I know what I can do in mine, and those kind of behaviors don't work for me. Well,
like, and I've met some women who found out that their man was gay, and they was like, I never knew that that he was gay. He never showed those signs. And I'm like, I don't even know the nigga. I saw the nigga before. How come I can see it without you telling me? What you looking at? What kind of men are straight to you? You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So I don't know. But you also have to remember there was a time in our not so distant history where as long as you married a woman, then nobody could ever say you was gay because you was married. I'm like, and I was like, y'all went for that? Like, all right. Whatever, man. So anyway, so there are different criteria that people use in order to establish whether they know somebody or not. That's the bottom line. And so,
I have a friend now. I find myself always saying to her, well, she's an associate because she's done too many things. I found myself saying to her often, well, if you really knew me, then X, Y, Z. And she gets so offended when I say that. But when she says stuff that I'm like, bitch, did you just meet me 5 minutes ago? What the fuck are you talking about? Then my response to that is always, if you really knew me. And she hates it, but I don't know what else to say to her. Like, it's the dumbest stuff. Like, we were getting food one day, and as they were getting my food together, I asked, can you put my things in separate containers? I'll pay extra if I have to. And she was like, why are you being picky like that? When did you get so bougie? I said, bougie? I said, I don't like my food touching. She was like, I didn't know that. And I'm like, well, people who know me know. The people who really know me know I've never liked my food touching.
Mm-hmm.
And she just stood there looking stupid. And she felt like I was trying to be an asshole. But I'm like, it's the truth. If you knew me, what the hell are you seeing all the time? We've eaten together multiple times. So I don't understand what you didn't see that you are shocked right now.
Mm-hmm.
So stuff like that makes me always question, does she really know me? Because I think she doesn't. And she has a tendency to say stuff too often that I'm like, you don't really know me, so we're not really friends.
Mm.
She's just an associate who's in my state.
Yeah, I mean, there are times when people they're not looking for the same things that you might be looking for in order to get them. And plus, maybe they don't feel like they need to know a person the way you need to know a person. Mm-hmm. So that's a communication issue right there. I mean, just like in that situation, you know, she felt like you was being bougie or whatever. That miscommunication can cause some problems because it ain't really about nothing, but there is an issue here because you think that I'm trying to, you know, be something that I'm not or act a way that I don't act or whatever. But anyway, it's just that you're not paying attention to the same. You're not taking the same cues that I'm taking. You know what I mean? Like certain things are important for me to know about a person before I can proceed, and they're different from the things that you need in order to proceed, or to even just say that you know a person. I don't know. That's kind of weird, but. Mm-hmm. But okay, what about when doing, okay, for example, when doing business with somebody, what level of knowledge or comfortability, trust or whatever do you have to have, if any at all, in order to do business with a person?
Define what you mean by do business.
Okay, so all right, I'm going to take an extreme example first. If you was in the drug game, you should probably really vet the people that you connect with. Mm-hmm. Because as you know, that you're dealing in an illegal, federally illegal activity, and somebody could be setting you up, you know what I mean, with a sting operation, you know, and so just selling your shit to anybody or agreeing to do business with just anybody without knowing them well could get your ass years and years in jail.
Correct.
So,
or did.
Absolutely. Mm-hmm. Absolutely. And you can get killed in the drug game whether you are the seller or the buyer, because you're dealing in cash. So, you know what cash does to people. But so I'm asking you in that vein, in order for you to, okay, for example, you know how some people won't try new restaurants and things like that if they don't know anybody else that tried them.
That's me.
Okay, so you understand what I'm asking you.
Yeah. I don't. So let's just say I was in a drug game. First of all, I'm not dealing with somebody else doesn't know. Like, I need somebody to vouch. And it has to be somebody I trust with my son's life to vouch. So it can't just be somebody who I trust minimally. It has to be somebody I trust with my son's life to vouch for you. And if they're not that kind of person, then I'm good, because there's no loyalty amongst these. We can't move in that kind of. That's why that's never been the lifestyle for me, because I don't trust anybody. And I don't trust you to hold my money. I'm not gonna trust you with my drugs. I'm not gonna trust you to keep me safe and have my back. I'm not, like, if that was the case, I would do it with my best friend. That would be the person, my best friend.
Okay, but we aren't really talking about drugs, because I had no idea that you was a runner. But what I'm trying to, I'm just talking about doing business in any kind of way. You know what I mean? Because business is business. You could, let's say, all right.
I'll give you an example now.
Okay.
I can give you an example. It's just even in the business. So even right now, I'm in the process of doing business with a friend. And it's a group of us, and that group is very tight and small because I don't trust anybody outside of the group that has been developed. And these are people who I've known for years, who I trust with my son's life. These are people who I know are going to look out for him and his situation, and for me and my situation. These are people who have had access to my bank account, and one still does. So that's the kind of trust I would have to do business with somebody. This one I was just talking about, who apparently has never seen me eat before, I wouldn't trust her with these kind of things. Although she trusts me with hers, like, I have access to all of her things, but I wouldn't trust her with mine, because I'm like, you don't know enough about me, obviously. Even though you've been around for 2 decades or more, you still don't know me. And that brings alarms in my head. So.
Okay. So, all right. I'm thinking along the lines of this. Like, okay. Like I said, work being done at your house. You know what I mean? You want to make sure that you get somebody who is reputable enough. Is not going to run off with your deposit, or you know how black contractors are, and I hate the stereotype, but god damn it, it's happened enough for it to have a large ring of truth to it. But yeah, running off with deposits, leaving work undone, unfinished and shit, while they already got all of the money, preying on people that they know have more money, or seniors, or women, and all that little bullshit. So normally when it comes to contracting or whatever, people don't want to use a brand new contractor. You know what I mean? That one that nobody knows. Sometimes people do, but for the most part, I would rather deal with people that I know through somebody else, so there can be some kind of accountability. Like, at least I can catch up with the motherfucker later on if he do some fuck shit. You know what I mean? I know somebody who knows him who will look out. Or
I said that earlier. The same people who do things in my house are the same people who do things at my dad's and my siblings, my cousins. It's like, there's someone who everybody in the family uses for whatever. Like, the guy who cuts my grass, he cuts my dad's grass and my siblings' grass. When I decide what I'm going to do with the house, the same person who renovated or upgraded my dad's house and works on my sister's home and my other sister's property that she manages, this would be the person to do all the stuff for my house. And this is in anybody in his group, he contracts out. These are the people who do repairs for everyone. So when I had to have a repair in the bathroom in the basement, this is a person who was able to come in my house for 3 or 4 days, to get the repair done. So we stay within the same unit of people. I'm not comfortable with too many strangers coming into my house, and especially somebody no one else knows. Like when my furnace went out, that was a very, very tough time because I was like, okay, the person who was servicing everyone had transitioned. And so everybody was looking for someone new to handle HVAC stuff. And to get someone new, I went in here in the cold for like 2 weeks because I wasn't sure and I couldn't find anybody that we all were comfortable with. And once we did, now we use that same person collectively. So, you have to be somebody else knows or willing to work with everyone. And I'm pretty thorough in my research. Like, I'm digging in everything. I'm looking to see if your name comes up in another state. I'm looking at your business stuff. I'm going to find your license, all of the things before you come in my house and do anything. And even in the dating situation, I'm going to look up your record. That's just it. Before you can come to my house.
Well, let's talk about that. So, in order, when it comes to dating, you said that you do background checks?
Oh, yeah, I do.
Oh. Okay, so do the background checks make you feel like you know the person?
No, not 100%, but it's a start.
What are you looking for?
Before I even start giving out before I even give my whole name and too much information, I'm going to do a background check.
That's deep.
And before you come over here, like, you have to pass through some things first. Like, other people need to see who you are. I need to see how you are out in the wild. And I need to know a little more about you before I can even let you come to my house. Dating is at this age anyway, for me, at this age, dating is not like it was when I was 20. It wasn't. So it just wasn't a flyby. This is, okay, if we're going to do this, we're going to do this because I don't intend to date you and 10 other people. Like, if we're going to build something, let's build something. But I need to get to know you. And before I invite you to my house, I need to see what your background looks like. Of course, it's not going to tell me everything. But if your ass is a pedophile, we're through talking right now. Like, if you have a record for always being in and out of prison, we're through talking right now.
Okay.
So that's the kind of thing.
Okay. So you can see a clear difference between what somebody else might need to know about a person before they let them into their world or their space or whatever versus you. There are plenty of women out there who like dudes who have been to jail or that are in jail, things like that. So the way that they need to know a person is different. You know what I mean? It's different. And there are going to be even more differences as you meet people, know people, experience being around different people, whatever. And that's going to be dependent upon how far you let them come into your world, or whatever kind of guardrails or barriers that you may have up. And all of those things are fine as long as it makes you feel comfortable. But that's basically what we're talking about. When we talk about, you have to get to know some, I need to get to know you first. I've known women who said that, like, one of the things that inspired this show was that, social media and shit, I see, women talking all the time, like, like a dude got they might be talking about that Steve Harvey 90-day rule shit. You know what I'm saying? 90 days before you have sex with them. And that by that time, y'all will really get to know each other. And I'm like, will you? Like, whether it's 90 days, even 180 days, depending on what you do, what y'all talk about, what y'all and how y'all energy intertwines with each other is going to determine whether y'all really get to know each other or not. You know, just because you don't have, and this is just the way I see it. I'm not saying that everybody subscribes to this, because evidently they don't. But I don't think that you get to know a person just because y'all don't have sex with each other, even though y'all might be attracted to each other. And I don't think that having sex with somebody stops you from getting to know a person. I mean,
don't think so either.
I mean, but some people live by that. But you have to think about the experience that they've had as far as being physical with somebody. Now, my personal feelings are that if you have to withhold sex from somebody in order for them to get to know you, you may not have the type of personality that someone wants to get to know. You may not be good enough for somebody to really want to stick around like that. The same thing is if I'm just saying, because a lot of people.
I'm laughing at what Jason.
Oh,
okay.
no, it's cool. I've met a lot of women who really think. Let me put it this way: at a certain age, or really any age, if you have sex with a man and he don't want to have nothing else to do with you, then, I mean, the pussy might be trash, but definitely your personality is trash, because now it ain't even worth. It's not worth, trying to get it to a level where y'all on the same page or whatever. But hardly anybody takes accountability for that. Rather than to say, well, maybe I did something to turn him off, they may say something like, well, more commonly I hear, men are just out for just one thing, and once they get it, then they gone. I'm like, not the one with the magic. They ain't no men don't normally leave a good thing. You know what I mean? They ain't gonna leave the goose that produces the magic egg. So, yeah, anybody can be off-putting or whatever. I mean, think about it. So you date a man for a certain amount of months, and he maybe in the first month he's already thinking like, this one ain't it. I don't really like this chick, but I'll be goddamn if I'm going to be hanging around her for a month or two, and I'm not going to get a chance to get between them thighs. So I'm not waiting just on her. I might have something over here that's taking care of me while this one marinate. But he might find out, like, I really don't even like this chick. You know what I'm saying? But now I got to see if maybe there's something to this. And then they have a sexual encounter and it's confirmed to be total garbage. Basura, trash, wastebasket. You know what I mean? Septic tank. Like this it ain't no good. And now you see why she withholds sex until you get to know her or whatever, because she's not nice enough, smart enough, attractive enough. And I don't mean attractive as far as physical is concerned. I'm talking about personality attraction. She may not be captivating enough, intriguing enough, interesting enough. For a man to deal with her beyond all of her bullshit that she's never owning up to. Because I've never heard women like that blame themselves for anything. It's all, men are just slimy, they just dogs, they just blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, well, dogs do their thing outside and come right on home.
True.
They fetch, speak, Give me paw, all that kind of shit. But anyway, and same thing with men. Same thing with men. You know what I mean? Thinking that all women, all they want is money and all that kind of shit. Well, like, yeah, you gotta pay your way because you're not worth shit otherwise. And you don't see it. You've been leading with the dollar, and the dollar is all you want. So you ain't nothing but you're worth nothing but a nice size check. And you keep getting treated accordingly. After a while, you're probably okay with the arrangement. You know, you got to pay like you weigh. So, yeah, it's but yeah, so getting to know each other is different in different realms, different scenarios with different people. So yeah, you can spend your time getting.
It should be. People should do what works for them. Mm-hmm. How it works for them, what works for them. I remember one of them cousins one time told me that I was too picky and that my expectations were too high. And I was like, well, you decide what you're going to allow. Let me decide what I'm going to allow. What works for you is probably not going to work for me. And for whatever reason, they have this misconception that women, especially after a certain age, have to just accept anything because in their head, the count of men is so low. So it's not enough to go around. And because everybody's lived a life and we have to be accepting. And then my best guy friend's favorite phrase is, we're not getting any younger. So you really have to lower some of your standards to be with somebody and don't worry so much about getting to know them that deep. And I'm like, oh, well, that's why you got the trash wife you got because of that. So
I've heard this before. Some people are only concerned about who you are right now. So they don't go back and find out what your journey was, where you've come from. But I don't see how you can be comfortable not knowing how a person will act over a gradual amount of time. You know what I mean? Like, how can you say that you know a person, but you don't really know how they'll act when they're afraid, when they're happy, when they're a winner, when they're a loser, when they suffer a loss? You know, if you shit nowadays, even political affiliation, things like that tell a lot about a person nowadays. Way more, I think, than, you know, when I was growing up.
Yeah, and that's true. It does, because again, with my guy friend, I'm really having a difficult time with our friendship because of him supporting who he supports now. And he didn't even vote for the man, but he's just a good mouthpiece for him. He's like a Tim Scott for him, and I don't understand it. And I'm confused, I'm frustrated, I'm surprised, I'm angry, I'm everything, because I'm like, I've known you since before we became parents. We were teenagers. And of everything I know about you, when did this come into play? Mm-hmm. Who are you? What pod did you come out of? Mm-hmm. Because the person I've always known would have never supported this. And I don't understand it, but I don't know. I think it has to do with this new wife. That's personally my opinion. But for this lady to come in who's a weirdo and change you so much is off-putting to me and strange. Mm-hmm. Because you're not the person I've always known. So, and I agree with you. People don't take the time to really get to know that person. Like, I think you should know the little things and the big things. And I know people say, well, that's not really important. or they say to me all the time, well, Kim, what kind of music they listen to is not really important. It kind of is. It kind of is. We can't be in this house and playing music that I don't like or they don't like, and we get along. Because I'm going to play mine loud, and if
right.
you have an attitude about it, we're going to have a problem.
Yeah.
So that is a big deal. To me, it is. I think those
sounds valid to me.
That little stuff matters.
Mm-hmm. I know it matters. I know it matters, and it matters to you. The thing is, people may be telling the truth when they say it doesn't matter to them, and they may not understand how much it matters until it's inescapable. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, whenever I hear people talking about some, they switched up on me. They did a 360 on me, or some people like to say 180, and I think that's dumb. Like, it be like, and we can have that little debate for a minute. It'd be like, no, a 360 will get you back where you started from. I'm like, no, a 360 is a 100% change. A 180 is a half a change. No, but I'm like, no. Why y'all? What we was already saying 360. We had it right. Why y'all had to come? Somebody, what y'all went and got some actuaries who did some new calculations and shit, and now we got to do 180. They did a 180. I'm like, 180 is half. That's half. You said he totally switched on you. Yeah, but
and how did they switch on you? Did they just start doing drugs? Like, some of that is like, that means y'all didn't get to know each other.
Yeah, they didn't get to know each other. They didn't. It was on the job training in a relationship or marriage. Man, listen, this internet has gotten people. The internet, especially social media, has hooked people up who haven't spent any real time around each other, have not asked the real questions. I mean, they've asked questions, but they've asked all the questions about what's going on right now. They haven't been around each other enough to know, like, yo, when they get an attitude, this is how they act. When they feel like their space is too crowded, or you may not know how sensitive a person is. You know what I mean? You thinking you can joke around with a person, then you find out like they get that Mr. Hyde thing going on when you tease them or something like that. You ain't know that shit. You ain't know that. You ain't know that. You know what I mean? Like a piranha out of water. And you didn't know. You didn't know. Or they might get mad reclusive or get on some brooding type shit. You like, well, what's, how you ever been around somebody and the energy just totally shift? And you don't know, something is wrong because now they done got all quiet. You know what I mean? And you like, yo, you all right? I'm cool. And you know damn well, like, what the fuck just happened here? Sometimes you can point to what happened, and sometimes you totally in the dark because you never would have thought that this thing would have affected them that way. And there are people who never stood in front of that, and then they marry that person, or they get into a serious relationship, or have a baby with that person, and that's when they get to find out all of this shit.
And you also need to know the person's dynamic with their family and friends too.
It would help.
I remember with the ex, one of our biggest issues, like all the time, as long as we've known each other, I never knew he had a whore crackhead sister. Until one day, this bitch is calling his house at 12 midnight wanting to borrow money on his payday. And well, I'm gonna come over there and put it in an envelope on the porch. I'll come and get it. Bitch, it's 1 o'clock in the morning. You're not coming to get nothing on this porch. How about you better, the 3 men you fucking, you better ask them for what you need. But he was so loyal to the sister, it was a problem in our relationship. Because I'm like, my brothers don't do that.
Mm-hmm.
So why do you think it's okay for your sister to do that? You know, and that's one of the things I'm like, as long as I've known you, even as my friend, I never knew this part. I never knew this about your sister. And maybe it's because she was so much older than us, so I never seen her around, you know, like that. And we weren't socializing with her. She was grown. We were still teenagers.
Mm-hmm.
But when it came about, it was so quick and swift, and I'm like, damn, this is how we get here. Because it was a problem because he was so loyal to her.
It happens. Mm-hmm.
But I think that's something people miss out on too, the relationships they have with the people they interact with in their life outside of you, their family, their friends too. And I'm talking about past, present, all of that.
Well, yeah. You might not find out that a person is trying to isolate you away from all of your people until, you know what I mean? So, I mean, you knew them enough to lay down with them, swap bodily fluids with them, have a baby with them, even get married to them. And you don't know shit about them. You don't know. Mm-hmm. You never even asked yourself, how were the both of us able to just drop everything and get married in 90 days?
Well, that's because people have this thing in their head that, and I hear women say it so often, if he hasn't proposed to you by 3 months, he don't really like you. I don't want him to do that. I don't want him to propose
3 months?
I'm gonna say no.
God.
Or if you guys are married within a year, then you know that's too long to be with somebody and not be married. No.
Yeah, I've heard that before.
That's insanity to me. Because in a year I can't possibly know you. And I'm not saying that you can't do it. I'm not saying that. But what I'm saying is when you have this time frame locked in, it's always, to me, gonna fail. Like I know 2 people who are in marriages like that now, and neither one of them are well. Both marriages suck, donkey ass, because they had this time frame. Like he needed to propose to me within these many months, and we need to be married by this time, or he doesn't really like me. And I'm like, who told you that? So there's that too, this weird thing that society has put out in the heads of some people that I think is retarded. It doesn't make sense to me, but whatever.
It's not even society. Society ain't saying that shit. That shit is all fucking social media based. I ain't hear nobody talking that no shit like that before social media. I swear to God I didn't.
Oh no, I know people who've been saying it before social media. They were saying it back in the 90s, and I'm like, that's dumb. Get out.
I ain't never heard nobody say that you know somebody should propose to you within 90 days, even a year. The closest thing I heard to that was 2 years into a relationship, y'all should be talking about marriage after that.
Yeah, I've heard that before.
Or by that time.
And who sets the stage?
Well, that's a lot better than you know setting it up in 90 days. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Like that wasn't beyond reason. You know, like at least in a couple of years of steadily being around each other, you should know each other well enough to know whether you want to marry somebody or not, or whether you're even marriage material. But yeah, like I said, this social media thing, they be talking about shit like it's law. And unfortunately, a lot of people feed into that shit and make that law their personal law that they want to bestow on the person that they dealing with. So now that person got to live by the laws of a bunch of other people that don't know them, care about them, or are even associated with them. So yeah, but I get it. I do. I get it. I don't like it, but I definitely get it. But yeah, so whereas some people might need to know, I need those third grade class photos, uh, all graduation pictures, fourth grade or fifth, eighth, high school, college, everything. But yeah, when we talk about getting to know each other first, whether you're talking about romance or relationships or business or even friendship, I mean, not everybody is cool just being a friend with everybody, because friendship means different things to different people. So, like, in order to be one person's friend, they may really need to know that they can trust you, because they may treat their friends like their siblings. You know what I mean? Like, some people don't believe in just being regular friends. Like, when I consider you to be a friend, I consider you to be family. So they might not be the type of person that throws around the word friend a lot. So you might have to do more in order for this person to consider you to be a friend and get you out of the associate zone. But nonetheless, yeah, what it takes to get into one person's life could be totally different than what it takes to get into another person's life. And those differences sometimes can cause communication problems. Like, if you're the type of person that really needs to know a lot about a person before they can establish trust and get comfortable with the person, you're dealing with somebody who really doesn't need to know shit. That's already a communication breakdown. So you're dealing with somebody who only cares that you look good. Meanwhile, you doing background checks, credit and criminal background. You know what I'm saying? And, priorities are different. And you might not find out what the differences are in those priorities until it's too late. Until it's too fucking late. And some people don't learn that, and some people don't want to learn that. I've seen a lot. I've had a lot of different looks when it comes to this concept. It's not as easy as it sounds for everybody. But yeah.
But I know some people need to adopt it, because I remember my cousin, she has put the family through so many dangerous situations with different men she's dealt with, because she didn't find out shit about them. She didn't do a simple background check. She didn't do shit. She didn't find out anything and put the family in jail. Like, she had one jackass come and put leaves all around the doors and set them on fire while everybody's inside.
Are you serious?
She didn't check this nigga. Yeah, she didn't check out nothing. I'm like, girl, we gonna kill you when this is over, because why to quit bringing weirdos around? Then another time she brought this dude around, found out this nigga's on the forever pedophile list.
Oh.
Like, he is the highest whatever as a pedophile. Like,
damn.
What did you check before you brought him around everybody with kids?
Oh.
So that's why I don't understand none of that. Like, I don't know. I just think this is a day and age where people need to be more cautious. And men too.
It would help.
Jason was saying that in the chat, and I agree 100%. Like, men have to be mindful too. Because if you don't know these women, they could be dirty, grungy, grimy helpers too.
That's true. Listen, just like he was saying in his comment, yeah, a chick might invite you over the crib. She might be just straight lining you up. Now, unfortunately, we find out about this. We might experience this kind of shit fucking around with a chick that live in the projects. because that has happened to many a motherfucker who didn't live in the projects. You know, going to the projects when you don't live there or have people there can already be a dangerous thing, because, you know, for some reason, people who live in the projects just get very territorial sometimes. You know what I mean? And you can get caught out there on a bad day. But having an experience like that, where a chick from the projects, you know, tried to line you up, can make you look at other women too, you know, in a certain kind of way. You know, you put me out here to get robbed. And I remember I had this one tenant in this house that I had out in South Philly. And I went to go pick up the rent, and I already had beef with this tenant. And I remember when I got there, she was sitting on her steps outside the crib. And she never invited me in the crib. She knew I was coming in to pick up the rent. And she gave me the rent in cash right there on the sidewalk. And I was like, no envelope, no nothing. You know what I'm saying? And I said, this grimy motherfucker. You know, because she could have gave me the money right there, and somebody could have conveniently robbed me for it right there. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And I was like, I looked at her, I was like, yo, why did you give me the money out here? Well, I mean, you know, I know you probably wanted to be on your way or whatever. I didn't want to hold you up for no long time. I said, yeah, I got enough time to come in the crib. Like, don't pay me on the steps again or on the sidewalk. I don't, you know, that's
in front of the world.
In cash.
Yeah.
No envelope. No, I was like, this chick trying to.
I think you trying to set me up.
She was definitely, something must have went wrong that day, because that was definitely suspect as hell. But yeah, things like this will give you mad PTSD, and have you trusting absolutely nobody. And that's a valid thing. That's a valid way to feel.
There are people who have had different experiences like that who don't trust because of that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, definitely true. Yeah, it's not a good look. I was like, yeah, this chick is trying to get me. Like I said, and we was beefing. That's why I was like,
oh yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and especially if she's never done it before, and then all of a sudden you're doing this weird shit. What the hell on?
Mm-hmm.
Here, you just get out. That's what you just said.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So yeah. But yeah, getting to know a person. Even if you're selling something to somebody, you might want to know who you're selling, what you're selling to. You know, I mean, you might want to know the person that you're selling what you're selling. Because if you're dealing with somebody who's very litigious, in other words, they always suing somebody, you might want to know if it's a good idea to do business with them. If they the type of person that always is suing somebody for services or some type of money matters or whatever, and it's never really legit. But, you know, they always trying to, you know, bring a case towards somebody. You know what I mean? So you might need to know that. You might need to know that, because that person might always be looking for an opportunity to get their money back without having to ask for it.
It's so different now. You know, in this house, I remember my grandmother had 2 boarders in this house, 3 boarders in this house as I was growing up. And all three were like family. They were close. They ate dinner with us sometimes, hung out with us, all these different things. But right now in 2025, when people are like, oh, you should do like your grandmother did with the house and do, I'm like, are you insane? No. No, I'm not letting a stranger come visit this house and have to pass through this house to get to where they stay. No, I'm not doing that. And I always wonder how my grandmother was, well, I guess because in the beginning my grandfather was alive too. So, I mean, not that that means anything because somebody could take out everybody. But it was okay. But even after my grandfather transitioned, she still allowed other boarders. And maybe just because it was a different time then. I don't know. And maybe she knew them more than, of course, my little young mind would know.
Mm-hmm.
But, you know, to do something like that, listen, a friend of a friend needed a place to stay. And I was like, okay, I rent this room to you. He was here all of 2 weeks before he violated and had to get the hell out immediately.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it was simple. People are like, well, Kim, you made a big deal out of nothing. It's the principle. He stole a piggy bank that has some coins in it that belongs to my niece. The fact that you stole anything, I don't care if it's 2 pennies. I don't live in a house where people steal. When my son and the ex and I were in here together, we laid money out on the table all the time. It would stay there until that person got their money off the table for whatever reason. Nobody touched anything. Nobody bothered anybody. I don't live in a house where my stuff isn't safe. And so for you to come in here and I'm opening my door to you, well, that solidifies what I'm not ever going to do again.
Sounds fair to me. You have to protect what you have by any means necessary. And everybody doesn't have to understand that. Some things ain't for everybody. Shoot.
Yeah, because I don't understand people being in the house with somebody who does drugs and they got to hide their purse and wallet and stuff. I'm not doing that. I don't want my live and pay for shit.
But they know who they dealing with, though, don't they? They
do. And I guess that makes the difference. They know who they're dealing with. But I can't. That's stressful. I mean, ET, it's on their own. So.
Yeah. It's tough. It's tough. But yeah, I mean, getting to know each other first. Oh man, this is automotive work.
Oh heck yeah. That's definitely one. Because you could end up paying quadruple what the problem is if you don't know the person.
Easily.
And then they've had to do something and have you come back 3 or 4 times for nothing.
Yep.
That's definitely one. And if you don't know somebody who's a mechanic and you have to find one, man, that is a nightmare.
Yeah. That's facts. That's facts. So yeah, mechanic work is definitely one of those things where you should deal with somebody that you know, because man, you can just get screwed over so bad. Paid out all this money and your car still ain't running.
Man, listen, that happened to my son, and I thought he was going to go to jail. So he went back up to the auto shop and acted a complete fool. And I had to question, did I know him? And I was like, get your ass out of there, please. Because you could get arrested. And he was like, I don't give a damn. You better get me back on fucking money. He clowned something terrible. And they gave him back his money. But yeah. And because of that, now he's almost like, if this car breaks down, I just have to get another one. I got these fucking. I'm not going to go through this again. So.
Yeah, mechanic work will dealing with a bad mechanic or a shady, shifty mechanic will change your whole outlook on life. Really will.
And I know you guys probably see the same things we hear when people get a contractor for the house. The next thing you know, it's on the news because the contractor did some shady shit. They got their money and they didn't get what repair or whatever they supposed to have done. Like we had some contractor here, he was making his rounds in the state, not just in the city, in the state, where people would have their whole roof torn off. The supplies just sitting in the yard, and he's got his money, and he may not have gotten all of it, but he's got this upfront cost and ordered a bunch of shit and went on about his life. And what was crazy was, in the beginning, he was ordering on credit from the companies to get the supplies. So not only did he not do your work and leave these supplies in the yard, now it's people coming because these are their supplies that have never been paid for. It was a mess.
That's very messy.
Look at someone else. Like, if he did it 3 times, somebody somewhere has made a note about it. Nobody looked him up.
And this is part of the problem. This is absolutely part of the problem. I mean, and this is how. Yeah. This is how people get hurt.
It's one you did mention. And I know you guys see it on the news too, especially in there too, like we see here, because it's a universal thing. These people who are giving money to, I don't know, somebody they absolutely don't know, and they're being taken for a ride because they met somebody or they thought it was an entertainer or celebrity on the internet, and they've given them money, or they have these air quote relationships with somebody on the internet and have given away all their money.
Yeah.
I absolutely don't understand that.
The internet.
Or they've been in a relationship, air quotes again, with somebody for X amount of years to find out that person is, I don't know, somebody in Nigeria. Like, I don't understand any of that. How do you say you're in a relationship with this person who you absolutely don't know?
Man. Yeah, the internet. Where people think they know each other or know people and they don't know shit. You know what gets me? You know, we got a rash of internet beggars. You got a bunch of content creators. It's a rash. It's an epidemic. It's bad out here. You got content creators out here literally trying to shame people into sending them money. Like, yo, I'm out here, I'm doing this thing, and y'all ain't giving no cash apps. Y'all not sending no stickers. Y'all not, you know what I mean? Y'all ain't. And
I can't tell you how that burns me up, because I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about? Nobody's making you do this.
I know. But I'm like, and people feeding into this shit.
Yeah.
I'm trying to imagine if I came on here and just started being on some old, yo, y'all gotta send me some money, or it ain't gonna be no show tomorrow night.
You would get roasted like nobody's business.
Well, why they not getting roasted?
They are, but they just ignore it or delete it.
They ain't getting roasted enough.
Talk crazy back, and the people are not strong enough to stay with them, because I've seen it before. I mean, if nobody, you don't have to come in here and listen to me then. Blah blah blah. I'm doing this for you. No, you're doing it for you. Nobody's making you come online and do this shit. Nobody told you had to come on here and become a content creator and start a social media page and do any of this. No one forced you to do that. So no one has to pay you anything. No one has to give you anything. Like, I love Kev on stage. I think he's funny, and I enjoy all of his content, but the one thing he says that irks my nerves is, I mean, if you don't pay your little funky $5 to the Patreon to see the rest of the show, you don't have to. It's just a funky little $5. It's a funky $5. Why is it a problem? Sir, you the one who got the money to jet all over the country, so you don't need my funky little $5 and shut the hell up.
Funky little $5.
Yeah, that's bull.
Yeah, I'm just saying, you got cats out here who will feed into that shit, or you don't even have to be a content creator. Look at a chick. Look at a chick who called the little black autistic boy, nigga and all of that shit.
Oh yeah.
And then motherfucker, she talking about she's fearing for her safety. Meanwhile, people sent all that money to her.
Yep, they did.
She didn't get convicted or nothing. She ain't had no legal fees to deal with. She just got paid off of some racial shit. Or should I say some racist shit? I'm like, wow. Shit, I'll take it. Good looking, my dude. Good motherfucking looking.
That's grip that took place.
Jason, yeah. My man. I'm fucking done. See, this one thing I know is this shit is all my fault. You know what I mean? This is all, I take full responsibility for this ratchetness and shit. My man Ed, what's good?
Listen, the biggest grift that took place on the internet to this day, I cannot figure it out for the life of me. And when people talk about it, I'm like, shut up, that's stupid. It's dumb. Is this chick, I cannot remember her name. I never did watch her shit, but it was in the news. It was everywhere I turned. There was this damn lady who met a dude, I want to say 3 days before everybody went into full lockdown during COVID. And they lived together. She quarantined with him and she didn't know shit about him. Mm-hmm. Next thing you knew, they had a baby and he was supposed to propose to her, but he was paying her bills and stuff in the beginning. But she came out on the internet and did these different episodes of she don't know who she was dating or whatever crap she was saying. And then she got money for it. People were giving her all this money and they were talking about her like on shows like Tamron Hall and she's making her rounds and I'm like, what the fuck are we doing here? This lady, she really got the best of both worlds in the beginning because she wasn't pretty. I mean, I don't want to be mean, but she wasn't very attractive. And she was like I'm not going to say she wasn't attractive. It's not that she wasn't attractive. She grew up in the church, so she was a church girl. So she dressed like a church girl, acted like a church girl. Her friends told her, you just met him, don't do these things with him. And she, he likes me, he's paying my rent and paying my bills, whatever, yada, yada, yada. And he made her big promises. And when those promises didn't fall through, she went on the internet and talked about him like a dog, but not in a gold digging way, just in I'm surprised he didn't say all the stuff. He didn't do all the things he said he was going to do. And he really didn't have any money. But you only knew him for like 3 days, literally. I think it was 3 days or a week. And then lockdown came and she let this man quarantine with her in her home. And you know, I wish I could remember the name of the whole thing, but it just was like this story, a series on the internet about it. And every day she'd get on and talk about different parts of it, or maybe all in the same day. I don't know. So many people were talking about it, and I'm like, this is stupid to me. What are we talking about? And they say, and I see like Tamron Hall is talking about her and had her on her show, and then another talk show host had her come on their show. And I'm like, what is happening? Am I in crazy world? Am I doing crack? And I don't know, because I didn't understand that. But I kept saying, to me, she's a grifter. She has taken everybody for their money, and you guys are feeding into this because there's nothing about this that anyone should be giving her sympathy for. This stranger moved into her house and paid her bills. This stranger came and took care of her when she's never had anybody do shit for her. What are you giving her sympathy for? But in that, I'm like, she is the problem because she didn't even know this guy. She moved him into her house during the quarantine and got pregnant by him, and was expecting them to have this big fancy wedding. What am I missing here? Right. Murdered. That was my thought, Jason. You moved this weird dude in with you after a few days, and you let him quarantine with you? Girl, no, that's stupid.
That's amazing. It is, but none of this shit fails to to amaze me. It doesn't. Motherfuckers are looking for shit, and like I said, they don't have the same criteria as far as getting to know somebody. They'll tell you, I knew what I needed to know in order to make that decision. I'm like, okay. Some quarantine. Well, the shit that motherfuckers was doing during the pandemic, that shit don't make no sense.
No.
The chances that they were taking.
No. Doing a quarantine with strangers, that's diabolical in and of itself. Like you don't even know yourself enough to know how you're going to act in that, to tell somebody else to get to know you. Because it's something none of us had ever experienced in our lives. So I think everybody was out of pocket. So why on earth would you want a stranger in your house if you don't even know you in that kind of scenario?
Yeah.
That's crazy to me. So I'm like, Jason, she'd be thanking God she didn't get murdered, because that would have been my fault.
Yeah. I mean, motherfuckers is looking for something out here. They really are. They looking for something.
We need to have a show about what people are looking for. What are they looking for? They haven't found yet.
Yeah.
Makes them do dangerous stuff or put themselves in dangerous situations, like in a movie going to the murder house, and when the monster comes in, you run upstairs. That's what that's like.
Yep. It's a lot. It's a lot. But when you see the way that some people choose to get to know each other, whatever, I mean, it'll just change your whole outlook on what it takes for one person to get comfortable with somebody in order to move forward in certain kind of ways. I mean, it's no different than the chick that meet a dude in the club and move him in the crib with their kids within a week or two. Like,
man, it's crazy. I'm just saying, can you imagine me coming on here on a Friday night doing a music show, say, "Hey guys, I met somebody new, and I really dig him," and then the next week the music show, "Hey guys, I'm engaged."
There you go. There you go. Right there.
Kim, are you high right now? You talking about to the cat? What are you talking about? Like, what kind of conversation
Hold on. What you can't forget, Kim, is you gotta tell everybody to just be happy for you. Why can't you just be happy for me?
I wouldn't want anybody to accept that. I would not want anybody to accept that. I want everybody who is familiar enough with me to tear me down to hell. Like, bitch, have you lost your mind for real? Like, what the? I don't want to hear Troy say, Kim, what the fuck are you talking about? Like, I don't want him to drop a few F-bombs. And we're like, what? I don't want T. Carey to be like, wait a minute. Sis, let's talk. Like, I don't want you to be like, I gotta call you after the show go off because I don't. Are you high? Did you start using drugs?
Shit is real out here.
That's crazy. Like, there's only one person I would expect to do some weird stuff like that. I'm not gonna call her out. But if I came on and said that, I would want people to snatch my soul out of my body.
Man. Yeah. And on that note, we're going to do these birthday shout outs and get on the body here. I'm going to bed. All right.
Yeah, me too. Hey, everybody. Everybody I been saying hello to. Hey, hi. Everybody be safe. Listen, on a serious tip, I don't know what the fuck we're going to enter into with this craziness that took place yesterday, with this speech to the military, with the shutdown, with all things. Everybody, like, be safe, be careful, move with ease, watch your step, watch your back, watch your people, watch your baby, hold them close, all of the things so you can stay safe, because this man has called upon war on U.S. citizens, and none of us are safe. So that's what I'm going to say. Peace. Good night.
I'll talk to you later. Thanks for calling and thanks for coming through. Thanks for everything.
Happy birthday, everybody.
All right. Peace. All right. We have some birthday shout outs to do. Some people were born on this glorious September 30th, and they deserve to be acknowledged. So let's go about our business of acknowledging them and making them feel special because they are special because they are special because they are S-P-E-C-I-A-L. They get the R-E-S-P-E-C-T. They are S-P-E-C-I-A-L. They get the R-E-S-P-E-C-T. They are S-P-E-C-I-A-L. They get the R-E-S-P-E-C-T. They get number one out the box. Judge Janine. Happy birthday to you. And also Joy Daniels, Sassy Diva McIntyre, no relation, but what up, cuz? And also Arminta Hairston, and Deanna Cougar Weeks, Sierra Renee, Hazel Robertson, Reza Sunshine Johnson, Sylvia Banks, and she's the last one. I want to say happy birthday to all of y'all. And I hope that today finds you all in good health, happiness, mind, body, soul, and spirit. And that goes out to each and every person out there born on this glorious September 30th, anywhere out there in the world, worldwide, internationally, and universally. All of y'all go ahead and turn up. But don't turn up too loud. Just turn up loud enough so everybody can hear you. Rock out, rock on it, do the damn, the rock out. Rock on it, do the damn, rock out. Rock on it, do the damn thing. You do your thing, y'all. Represent the queens and kings and do your thing, y'all. Represent the queens and kings. Good things happen to those who wait. Great things happen to those who grind. And anything can happen to those who go for theirs. So go hard, go for yours, and remember, man, listen. I don't think that you can go wrong by getting to know as much about a person as humanly possible. That doesn't necessarily mean that you got to delve all the way into their personal business or things that would make them uncomfortable. But it should be to the point where you know a person well enough to be able to get comfortable for yourself. Their discomfort shouldn't equal your discomfort. There's some people who are extreme with hiding things, and there are people who are extreme with investigating things. But communication should be the thing that brings those two worlds together if they are in the position to make themselves available in and of themselves. Stranger danger. You know, maybe we should take it to consider familiar danger. Sometimes it's the people that you know the best that are the most dangerous. And maybe what you know about them is the thing that keeps you cautious at all times and keeping your head on a swivel. But nonetheless, you got to find your own comfort zone. You have to find your ability to be able to trust. And you have to be able to know a person well enough to know if this is a good fit for you or not. Peace to all my day ones, my everydays, and my brand news. I love y'all to death. Resuscitate y'all. I love y'all right back to life. We will be back tomorrow night with another Daily Go Getimism show. I appreciate y'all coming through. My man Ed from Detroit, what's good, man? We was ready to put out an APB on you, man. I'm glad to see you back on this. I see you using your satellite channel. That's what's up, though. It's my man Ed from Detroit. Good looking. Thanks to everybody who came through. Appreciate y'all. Mucho. Exponents. Hit the like button before y'all get on up out of here. If y'all haven't done it, share the show. Subscribe to the channel. If you haven't subscribed to the channel yet. I see y'all tomorrow night. Peace.